You sent for me, my lord. And here we are at long last. Welcome, friends, to Dwarf Fortress. So I'm going to go by the assumption that not everybody watched the first episode I did of this as a kind of test episode to kind of see how this worked. Since then, I've been working. I went through over 1,000 comments, including, obviously Discord messages as well. I went through a boatload of Steam Workshop collections. People were linking me to mods across the board. It took a lot of work to get us to where we are now, and the mod pack by comparison is very different to how it was. On the subject of the mod pack, the settings for the scenario, the world seed, if you guys want to play along as well, the map settings, everything like that will be at the end of the episode so that we can dive straight into building our glorious Dwarf Fortress here. So the theme of this mod pack is, of course, building a Dwarf Fortress. We are playing on Merciless this time around, using the Maynard Medieval Storyteller added by Vanilla Factions Expanded Medieval. So we are playing on, or Losing is Fun now, I guess it's called, not Merciless. So we're playing on the hardest base game Rimworld difficulty, short of course, keeping your own custom scenario. And we have our 3 returning dwarfs from our first test episode. Poor Squiffygast, the leader of our last colony, died tragically during that raid. So we have Mayo, Olong Johnson, and Dirk Scrubber, the Admiral, returning for another round, led this time by the mighty Shittle Dirt. What sets this one apart from all the other medieval mod packs that we've done? Well, firstly, this one doesn't actually run any magic mods at all. We are running a very kind of, you could argue it's kind of low magic fantasy. We have a few kind of enchanted items that you might get from quests, but outside of that, we aren't running any big magical changes. There's no Rim of Magic or anything like that. This is purely good, old-fashioned, strong Dwarven mountain technology. We have a few other changes compared to our regular playthroughs too. Number one, we're playing on steps, which I don't think we've ever done before. It's a mountain in the steppes, which is, of course, why the Dwarf King sent poor little Shittle and his friends out here to check. We are playing with, of course, Shittle's returning from a previous series, but the caveat for this guy is that he begins as, I think it's probably in his bio, he begins as an acolyte of the Kingdom Under the Mountain, which is our empire for this playthrough. Shittle has got a little conceited since we last played with him, so he is a hero. He is very valiant, known for his many adventures, but he's getting up there a little bit. 33 is basically retired as far as a goblin is concerned. He's greedy and a snob, but the Dwarf King values his input and his power. So that's why he's leading this expedition, but Shittle is going to want a throne room. He's going to want that good armor. He's going to want those fancy clothes, all that kind of regular stuff that you have to put up with. So he is going to be a right pain in the ass through this series. But of course, the big appeal is the map itself, which is something we've never done before. Again, we are playing in steppes, which is, I don't think, a point we've ever really started in. But the actual map itself is going to be fairly interesting. We have a huge mountain canyon in the center, an opening where we can begin building our empire. But the map itself is absolutely gigantic. This is a 600 by 600 map. Regular Rimworld map is 250 by 250. So to put that in perspective, walking from the very top to the very bottom is more than walking halfway across this map. It is gigantic. And there is going to be so much to see because we've got loads of metal mods, gem mods, all the things that would be perfect for a little dwarf, or in this case, I guess, a greedy little goblin. The final thing to mention, of course, I think everyone's going to be overjoyed about this one, is I have removed You Do You. I love You Do You as a concept. I think we need to build a kind of Lemmings 100-person colony to really see that one shine. For this one, I've gone the opposite direction entirely. Rather than go for you do you where we have no work tab, I've decided for the first time ever we'll use Fluffy's work tab, which doesn't just give you a work tab in the first place compared to the last time, it gives you the most ridiculous work tab I've ever seen. Every single job is broken into a separate priority. Everything from bringing ingredients to making things at a crafting spot. Etching walls? God, there's so much here. I'm probably not going to play with that enabled all the time. Maybe between episodes I'll tweak things here and there as we get into specifics, but we will mostly just play with your kind of more similar to base game Rimworld work tab here. You can even set things up for particular timings. It's very, very nice. And beyond that, just at the most simple level, it gives you numbers 1 through 9, which is actually how it works in Dwarf Fortress 2. So I guess we'll begin then. Wow, this is a really nice map. Again, this is randomly generated using the map designer mod. Now, you don't design a map, you don't draw it by hand or anything like that. You input settings similar to configurable maps, but this one really did blow me away when I saw it. I think this one is very, very cool. The kind of big, long passage there leading up to what will be a nice mighty empire here in the middle with a big old lake. We've got all these steam vents, and this is one series where we could do nothing about that because, of course, we haven't got geothermal generators or anything. Although I guess we're playing on steps, right? So that means that we are going to need ways of heating our base. We've also already got gems. What is that? Turquoise ore? Oh man, there's so much to see. Let's not get overwhelmed here. Let's get our people to the center of the map, and then I think we'll start building some sort of base. I guess we'll start with steel or something like that. We are playing on Merciless simply because we have such a nice to defend map here, you know. We've got this big long corridor coming down to quite a sizable central area. Even then, we will be building a mountain base. Of course, we will be our dwarfs at the end of the day, but this also gives us the opportunity to farm, build some external structures. Maybe if we end up recruiting a filthy elf, we can make them live outside in the lake. In this what is honestly a fucking paradise, let's be honest. I guess I should really introduce us to the world as well, and along with that, our end goal. Now, our end goal was really tricky because, of course, all the base game Rimworld end goals are fly a ship, get in a shuttle, make friends with the Empire, do whatever it is you got to do to get off the planet, or, you know, you got things like Yeo's end game and the town charter, one where you use technology to achieve your end goal. But in this situation, we haven't got access to any of that. So the Rimhammer End Times mod, the Warhammer Fantasy mod, actually adds an end game quest where you have to go up to the Chaos Wastes and explore. I won't say any more on that, but there is a very, very cool end game win condition for us to try, and that's going to be our aim for this series, is just to win, because I think even with this crazy man space, it is going to be very, very, very difficult, given that we are still low-tech, couple of cold snaps, and all our people are going to die, right? So we've got to be very, very careful about everything this playthrough, which is going to drive me a little bit mad. In the world itself, we are playing right here near Mount Andorra itself. Can you believe that? Right near Mount Andorra, we are here in the steppes. Again, a mountain and steppes is a little bit bizarre, but our dwarven allies, the Kingdom in the Mountain, who is the Empire on this map, so they're the people that we gain our titles from. They're the people who, they won't bestow silence, but they're the ones who give us titles and send in reinforcements. Those guys are here. Another Dwarven settlement in the Chaos Waste, kind of over from the Kingdom, is the Pact of Doban. Another one of our allies, because of course they're all dwarfs. Now, down here we have Dwarven Bandits. Those guys attack us, more than happy to capture those. We will try and never kill another dwarf. It is our code of honor. If the Dwarven Bandits raid us, we'll try and recruit them. I don't give a shit about kobolds or goblins or elves. Fuck the elves. Honestly, if they raid us, kill them all. I think we should never recruit an elf, unless it's to make them work in the quarry, I guess. Skunk's Castle on the pond. And down towards the very south, living in what are called horror wastes, I'm not entirely sure what that is, we have a human settlement, the Ants Estates. Now, those guys are not necessarily our enemies, they're not necessarily our friends. We've got an uneasy kind of neutrality with the humans. That'll be down to us, whether we choose to use them as an ally, try and turn them into an ally of the Dwarf Kingdom, or whether, like the other factions here, we'll wipe them out. And this, I believe, is an infestation, like a big old... What are you guys? Base of one of the factions. I don't even know what that one is. Horrors. Oh, good. Well, that sounds quite nice. Led by Radia Sinclair. Good for you, Radia Sinclair. It's nice to have a day job. I think we got quite a cool little map here. I like the dwarfs being up in the Chaos Waste, and I like the fact that we're like the first true dwarf colony out of our homeland. But again, the end game goal will be up somewhere in the Chaos Waste, so we'll have to return home. We might even have to go through those horrors at some point. I think let's just get to mining. Wouldn't be a dwarf playthrough if we didn't immediately start mining. Maybe we should also start growing some crops as well. Or more specifically, growing hops. Try and build everything out of steel, because of course, being on steps, we're not going to have any wood whatsoever. We got any more steel? Oh, look, there's plenty of steel, and there's coal. Oh, that's pretty good. So, again, not having wood, trying to heat things up or light things up is going to be a massive pain in the ass. What the hell are you? It's a moonlight butterfly? Angel moth? What the hell do you do? Beautiful lepidopterans that undergo metamorphosis similar to any other mundane moths. What do you do? Produce moth silk that can be harvested to use as a textile. Oh, cool. Since they'll happily consume it too. Alpha animals. Oh, man, we should try and tame that. We do have, and again, mods that I don't normally use here, Giddy Up. I'll go through the whole mod pack at the end of the episode. We have the full Giddy Up collection, battle mounts and everything. The idea of dwarfs going into battle on the back of giant fucking moths is the coolest thing I could have ever imagined. I might have to, and like hermit crabs too, that does seem to, that seems to suit them a little bit. Oh man, there's so many cool ideas coming to me already. I think we'll do a little something like that. So mining is top priority unless you can build or unless you can grow, because obviously we need that for survival. And I assume we can open this up and separate that out into harvesting rather than just necessarily growing. Yeah, so there you go. So you've got your main categories and then subcategories under that. So deliver resources to blueprints does count as construction as well. See, now I want certain people to do that. If we do that one, that will set deliver to the highest priority, but they obviously won't build things. Repair is also under construct too. It's going to take a little while for me to get used to because I've actually never used this mod before ever. So this is going to be a little bit of adjusting, but it seems really, really cool. My God, there's so much fine control over everything. Look at the amount of different hauling you can do. Fill fermenting barrels, like that might be super high priority, especially if we set up, and of course, as we will, a giant dwarf brewing area for brewing dwarven beer, not for brewing dwarfs. We might want people to fill the fermented barrels as a top priority without doing regular kind of hauling crap like moving chunks or whatever. I won't worry about that for the time being. We'll just get our regular base set up first. So we've got some rich soil here. Now we do have vanilla plants expanded. So why don't we till... You can till rich soil on top of that, right? I wonder if that makes it worse or better. What have we got here? 140%. Let me test this out. Doesn't change it. Okay, so tilled soil is 140% fertility too. That's quite good. The only problem with the tilled soil from vanilla plants expanded, I should say the balancing they've chosen to add is, of course, when you grow a crop there, it does remove it afterwards. Let's go ahead and stick down a growing zone then. Let's do... What do dwarfs need to start off with? I think some hardier crops, given that we're in the steppe and it's going to get bloody cold. So let's go, yeah, potatoes, boil and mash them, stick them in a stew. That's a pretty good start. I want to start growing some cloth pretty much immediately as well. Oh, heel root, that's a much better idea, especially if we're on Merciless. And then for this kind of final area, we'll do something like cotton. We've got some sort of dwarven plants. We've got honey root and earth bread, but because they're dwarven crops, they grow in caves. So we can't do much with those quite yet. I mean, hops could be quite good. No, we need cotton. Let's focus on the important, just in case we have to build toques and jackets and whatever to start off with. I feel like growing, we might be freezing death, but at least we've got beer. Seems like a pretty terrible plan. What have we got there? Coal. Oh, more coal. We've got coal ore, and then we've got regular coal as well. What is that? Turquoise ore. Oh my God, there's so much to see. I think I've got probably like 3 or 4 different mods that add in ores and things like that. I think I'll also put fishing down as quite a low priority. I think I want it below... I mean, fishing they can do forever, right? So we want that always to be the lowest priority. Let's have hauling and cleaning up there. And then... I guess finishing people off should always be the top priority. Unbelievable. Absolutely vile. Warden we can't do anything with either. Shittle is very sad. Shittle, what's going on? Talk to me. What's happening here? No throne room, -15. Ravenously hungry, -15. No personal bedroom, -10. One acolyte specific apparel, -10. Greedy for impressive bedroom, -8. Unsightly. You can fuck off, Shittle. Get out of here. He gets 20 mood bonus from his hero trait. That's gone. You can just put a big cross through that because he's too busy being a big bitch. Oh, I haven't immediately got a throne room. Shittle, we've been here for no days. A full 0 days. So the first thing I'll do then is build Shittle a damn throne room. Otherwise, basically a quarter of our people are going to be constantly breaking. What the hell are those? A Thunder Ox. I want to see Shittle on the back of one of those. Riding it into battle, obviously. Melee DPS 3.38. Holy crap, what is that? Creature often seen in colder regions of the Rim. Recognized by its shaggy, thick fur and stumpy but effective horn. I know how it feels. We can tame it. We can tame it, and there's... What's the fail chance on that? Revenge chance on 10 fail. 1.3%? Oh my God, a Thunder Ox... Yeah, that is it. Thunder Ox breeding ground would be incredible. Lord Shittle. Tame. Tame the animals, Lord Shittle. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to turn it into Shittle's throne room. Because I think it's good enough to use for that. Let's do something like that and just kind of make it into a fun and wacky shape for little shittle. Excuse me, there are horses in my bedroom. And I want whatever bed we can build, to be honest with you. Oh, beds are just 45 wood. Okay, that's pretty good. Well, let's put down a... Is there any sort of, like, grand... I mean, we could put down a royal bed for him immediately. That might shut him up. I saw some gold up here. There you go, shittle, you big bitch. Hopefully that'll cheer him up. He even got a free raccoon with it as well. That's like the nicest bedroom I think I've ever seen. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. Hang on. Don't panic. This is fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Okay, plant cutting is high priority. There's so many berry bushes to eat. Why are they not... Okay, well, you know what? Maybe we'll also do a bit of a fishy. Shittle. Fishel well, little shittle. Okay, 16 perch. How the hell am I going to cook it? We haven't got any wood. We haven't got any coal either. Well, you need wood to build a campfire minimum, though, don't you? Oh, dear, this could be a problem. Powered. Some sort of powered furnace. Medieval. Brazier. No. Crafting station. Food prep. Food prep? No, that probably won't help. They have 35 wood. Oh, fuck. Fire pit. 15 steel. That'll do. Okay. Put that somewhere near the fishes. There you go. And we need 15 steel. Oh, long. Go. Cook jerked meats. Oh, we can have tasty jerked fish? Oh, fuck. I don't like that at all. Okay. There you go. Fine. Everybody's okay. I've set this schedule to just entirely recreation right now to try and cancel out some of the negative mood that came with spending the first day building Shittle's mighty palace. Meal. 10 fish. Okay, well, that's something. And by jerking it too... Oh, no. By preserving the meat, we're preserving... You know what I'm trying to say. YouTube doesn't, but you know what I'm trying to say. Basically, we don't have to worry about refrigerating it so much because it spoils in 45 days. Hello. Please stay away from my jerked fish. Dwarf cook is visiting from the kingdom under the mountain. She is named Hon. Hello, allied mountain dwarf guard. Madam, how may I help you? She's a weapons my god, she would be a great recruit. Can we try and recruit her at all? What the fuck is going on over here? What killed you? A phoenix owl cat? Oh, okay. Guess we've got grizzly bear on the menu tonight. You're probably wondering, why in the goddamn is stinky shittle over there starving to death when we've clearly got an abundance of potato and all the fish we could ever eat? Well, I'm wondering, in a counterpoint to that, why the fuck there are not just one type of coal in this game? Why the fuck there's not 2 types of coal or even 3 types of coal, but 4 different bloody types of fucking coal in this game? I've gone ahead and removed an entire coal mod, and all of this coal still can't refuel the coal. Okay. I know how it works. I know why. Oh, I know how it works. I don't know why it works. I don't know why they've done this. So we've got coal, right? This one here, a lump of dark, dirty coal used for forges, stones, and campfires, and whatever else, except for none of those things. Put a big cross through that. This is Rimhammer End times. That you can't use with this medieval time stuff. Then we've also got this coal here. By the way, a separate coal from Rimhammer End times. A dark dirty coal used for forges, stones, and other things. The coal that we need, okay, comes from the stone quarry, right? The stone quarry, by the way, that we can't build because we don't have a wood. Like, that's a completely different kettle of fish that I'm not going to burst another blood vessel over. And we need hand tools. Guess where we get hand tools? Yes, you at the back there, little Timmy. Sir, do you get hand tools from the blacksmith's forge that you fuel with coal? Yes, Timmy. Yes, you do. So to get coal, you need coal. Coal? That's a bison. Coal? Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Coal. Coal? Rimhammer End times. Fuck. Coal? I swear we saw some around here somewhere at some point. No, it's all gone. It's all gone. We're just fucking dead. We're stuck. That's it. We've peaked already. Wait, hold on. Quarry. 100 steel. Ah, that could work. That could very much work. Get me one of those big ones. Give me one of them big ones. Yes. Good. Now let's hope. Let's pray. Well, I kind of already know. I won't lie to you. I already know that we could get the coal that we need from this quarry. But I'd like to point out, without this quarry, game over. That's it. We'd be done. That's it. We get to live in stone buildings. We get to eat raw fish and raw potatoes for the rest of our life. The only problem is, because there are so many things in this game, there are so many... You think this is a fucking joke? You think this is a joke, potato face? Resting. You will rest in hell. You will rest in hell. Build me the... Okay. Right, now because there are, like I was saying, because there are so many different resources available to you in this here Rimworld mod pack, the chance of getting coal is heavily diminished by the fact that there's just a higher chance of getting everything. There's so many other things. You better mine me the coal I need, Olong. No, sir. I don't think you understand. You're not leaving until you find me coal. Plasteel. Fake coal. Oh, this is killing me. Ah, the hell is that? Solarite. A very bright yellow metal whose crystalline structure somehow absorbs radiation from its surrounding and emits a faint light. That's pretty good. Some coal would be better, though. Steel. Coal. Coal? Wait. Coal chunks. Oh, is that what we need? Special thanks and credit to Flashforward for ideas and implementation of shiny coal concepts. Hold on. Hold on. Admiral. That's what we need. We need coal chunks. We don't need coal. We didn't need coal at all. No. Big you are. Who is it? Oh, Jesus. Hello. Oh, my God. Oh, that one's on a ball. That one's on a boom loop. That one's on a big cow. Well, that's a bit concerning. Okay, people. We've trained for this. We haven't. We haven't trained for this. We've barely got fucking food. Have they eaten? Are they ready to fight? No food. Admiral. Admiral, what are you doing with that? Drop it on the floor. Give that to somebody to eat. For God's sake. Consume the jerked meat. Consume. Is there any way we can catch them where the numbers will count for nothing? Well, they're moving all at various different speeds. You know, because they're riding all sorts of different animals here. So if we go up and intercept, kill them one at a time. Go. Move in. Prepare. Bunch up. Kill. Yes. Fuck him up. Oh, that was fantastic. That was incredible. Now back off. Let the next one come in. B-Boil. He's on a pig. But we might actually get some food out of this. Okay, here we go. Move up. Move around. Encase. Engulf. Kill. Yes. Good boy. The pig's angry. Kill the pig. Pig's down. What? Kill the pig! You weirdos. Okay. Hold on. So what I need to do now, let's go like this, and then we go self-heal on Admiral. No. What the hell did you just do there? Right, okay. This has been very high stress for me. Okay, this has been a very, very high stress situation. Oh, God, that one's on a big cow. Where are the others? They're further back, but we should be able to... Okay, move over. Engulf. Kill. Slay. Destroy. Melee attack yak. Kill the yak too. We've done it. We've actually done it. What a guy. Okay, don't worry about that one. Go home, get yourself patched up. Go. Run. Holy shit, we've actually done it. I'm not going to recruit a filthy little goblin. There's only one goblin in my heart. Well, I'm not going to pretend Shittle has earned himself any sort of respect over the course of today. What? Because of smoke leaf withdrawal. Because of smoke... Oh, you have... You have earned yourself a one-way ticket to jail, my friend. You're lucky I don't get shittles around that goddamn club right up your ass. Recruit him, if you can. Release or execute, because he's a bloody... We can't even... Okay, I need a minute. Luckily, we had Stallion 1 randomly tame ages ago. Oh, well, that's fine. It's not like we need food. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little shittle here, because these animals 6.94. Nice. All we need to do is get a little bit of training on here. One level of guard, one level of whatever. Doesn't really matter. That should be enough to start taming Olong again. And then everybody will be happy. And we'll all have a lovely time in our Dwarf Fortress. Which so far has just been Disappointment Farm. You can't. You can't. You can't! Oh no. Fucking Goblin Karen. Goblin Karen atop a boomerlope. Why are those stallions so frighteningly muscular? That's fucking horrible. Warhorse? Oh, well, I guess that explains that one then. Can we not? Can we be friends? Can we just be peaceful? We surrender. We surrender. Just fucking take it. Oh, no. Hold on. Thrombos. If they walk over the caltrops and go manhunter, I'll cry. Don't break my caltrops. Okay, you're fine. Okay, here we go. Okay, defenses. Yes, no one expected defenses this early on. Bear trap. We got plasteel, though, right? We got plasteel. 52. 86. 54. 12. Here. Right. Plasteel. 65. Fuck. Oh, you can't place it next to caltrops. Oh, get out. Fire. I don't know what that is. Ballista. We've got no wood. It's the steps. You know, flat, rolling grasslands. That's what the steps are known for. Okay, they're almost here. Squad up. We'll fight them over the caltrops. We might be able to body block them a little bit. It's Plilzalv. We might be able to kill them before the goblin Karen turns up, because she's on the back of a boomlope. Oh, it just slows them down? Is that all it does? You're joking. Shittle, you are in a bad fucking place, my friend. Go, get in there. Help him out. You know what? I take that back. He's in a good place. Holy shit, what a guy. Holy shittle. Look at that. That was a beautiful display of strength and power from Shittle. Karen Goblin, beside herself. Doesn't know what to do. In full fleeing mode. Or not. Or she's just fleeing in panic. Oh! She wants to leave, but the boomalope doesn't. The boomalope's fleeing in panic, but... That's so good. Well, ain't you the high Tom Titty? Got a war merchant turning up. Well, they'll finish her off. Good work. Thank you, war merchant. Who are they? Humans? Dwarves, hello. What the hell is that you brought with you? Big Beaver and DK Drake. Kill her. No, she's gonna flee. Kill her. Bring her down. Legolas. She's gone. She's fucking out of here. I wonder if we'll ever see her again. The Karen Goblin. She'll be back for revenge, I'm sure. Raiders, welcome to the new Dwarven Kingdom, paid for by His Royal Majesty the Dwarven King. Who am I trading with here? Arrest. Trade with. There we are. Say, wait a minute. Weren't there 4 of you? No idea what you're talking about, sir. Never before seen another person. Right, we don't want that. We can get rid of that. Oh, I might keep that pickaxe, actually. It's a sidearm. Steel dwarf spear. Steel mace. Great bow. Tropical bamboo blowpipe. You got any armor? Warborn shield belt. A single-person energy shield device. Medieval times. Hold on. A single-person energy shield device. Medieval times. XP plus 5% from fucking gloves? Give me that. Hey, we got some socks there too, and we could take some boots. What about these ones? What do these do? 8% move speed. Wow. You're going clothes shopping. What am I going to have to trade in for that then? You guys like herbal medicine? Because my god, I've got a lot of that. Actually, yeah, let's sell what we can here and try and... I mean, look, it's only 159 gold. 159 gold in this is way much more than 159 gold in base game Rimworld. Shittle, you may wear the excellent pig socks. Oh, god. Leather socks? Could be something else, I guess. Tailored gloves. Hey, get those on too. And then you may wear the winter boots. What a guy. Higher work speed, higher move speed. I feel like I've made a horrible mistake with this series. But I put all that friggin' effort into the intro card now, so I mean... Alright. Okay. Alright, we'll stick with it. We'll stick with it until I can take no more. Which is probably around the time Shittle's head is caved in, because that would just give me so much catharsis. I'll never want to see this damn mod again. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I hope everything's good. Heaps of thanks. Stay tuned, and I'll show you guys the kind of world setup, the map generation options, obviously the world seed options, crap like that too, the scenario, and whatever else. I'll talk about some of the mods that are in the mod pack too, and other such crap. So that'll be here after my regular credits, my regular Patreon end screen shoutouts for the people who insist on shortening my lifespan significantly because of a shitty little goblin. Thank you to Low-Res Quail, Mr. Mosin, Mythomatic, Alex, Evie Moon, Revan, Jobo Daddy, Crow Skull, Alchemia, Kekfit Ure, Narmo, Orkansas, Elvin Flang, Justin Rules, Vicuna Vasquez, Thor, and Viazine, along with everyone else, of course, for their support, the executive producer tier over on Patreon. And a thank you as well to Cobalt Kitsune, Major Mythical, Mr. Awesome, Roger Wilco, Scott, Craigon, Alex Schultz, Stormcrower, Matteo, and Struck Iron as well. I wish I'd strike iron, by which I mean coal. And here we are, the end of the video. Boy, what a fun episode that was, huh? Obviously, I haven't recorded it yet. So let's set up the campaign that you've already watched, but I've yet to play. This is very confusing. So what I've actually done here is I've created a scenario for our dwarf colony. Now, I originally had it so that we had random research, but after playing a little bit with that, I remembered why random research can sometimes be a pain in the arse. It adds a lot of kind of artificial difficulty, I guess, is the right way to phrase it. But all we've got here is, you know, you've got a dwarf colony. I've doubled the research speed because playing in medieval time with quite a big mod pack, and there's no, you know, powered workbenches, no multi-analyzers, no sort of research bonus mods. We're also not really starting with a researcher this time around. So that I thought was pretty good, so we're not just constantly dragging our heels without the technology we need to actually survive. That, and we are set to very high opinion with both the dwarf settlements and the kingdom under the mountain. Natural is 100. Now, what that means is it will naturally increase to 100, but we can still turn them hostile if we, say, kill a bunch of them back to back, and it will slowly over time recover. But it will, you know, we do start with that, so unless we make a big old fucking mistake, it's going to be very difficult to make them our enemies. We're going to play on losing is fun, and we're going to go reload anytime mode. Mainly because we are playing in that mountain base. And mountain bases are very, very easy to defend, minus the insects. So I want a challenge to be thrown at us in the form of, you know, much stronger raids and that type of thing. Planet size is tiny. We're going to go 30%. Now, for factions, this is actually fairly relevant here. What I've done is faction-based density is normal, so that you have the regular kind of distribution. Any higher than that, and it gets way too clustered. You can't even put a base down because, you know, it has to be within 2 tiles of any other base, and it just becomes too much. So, unsurprisingly, mechanoids have been disabled because I think the last thing we need is trying to dismantle a centipede with a rock. Then, for default kind of Rimworld factions, everything is disabled just because we could keep the Empire on, but with the mod that we've got that allows us to pick our own Empire, that's obviously what I'm going to do. Instead, we're going to make the dwarfs the Empire rather than having a human Empire. As for factions, everything is disabled besides the things that were in Dwarf Fortress. So we've got Dark Elves. I mean, it's just elves in Dwarf Fortress, but with Dark Elves. Dwarf tribes are enabled. Goblin tribes are enabled. Kobolds are enabled. And what else have we got here? Chaos monsters. Now, there are monsters or demons in Dwarf Fortress. You can't really get that in Rimworld. So we've got Chaos monsters enabled. That's also part of the end game goal. And then we've got a human medieval society there, too. There are actually beastmen in Dwarf Fortress, but if you enable all of these, they do get a little bit too clustered. So it's down to you whether you prefer that. Also in Dwarf Fortress, kind of like fishmen and frogmen and weird shit. So it's down to you whether or not you want those. We've got the Lord of the Rings Mountain Kingdom there too. That way we can use those guys as the Empire. I'm going to enable Dwarf Bandits, so we've got a faction we can get prisoners from and recruit. We've got monsters enabled. Again, there are monsters in Dwarf Fortress, and there are horrors if you dig too deeply. So we've got all of those enabled. I think our seed of Cliff is fairly appropriate. Here we are. So we've got dwarfs over on the plains, so that's quite interesting. Humans all the way down in what I believe are the horror wastes. Whoa, those are cool. I'm not entirely sure what those are, to be honest with you. We've got the Grey Oasis, so we've got goblins, we've got kobolds. The dwarves live all the way up in the Chaos Wastes. So we've got the Kingdom Under the Mountain and the Dwarven settlement there too, so that's kind of fun. We've got the Deep Brood, whatever that is. I guess that's an infestation and more horror wastes, and then we've got Elf Island down here. That's kind of cool too. I'll probably do an introduction on this in the actual video itself. So we want to play somewhere near the Chaos Wastes because our end goal for this series is using the Rim times end goal, the victory condition from that. Now, I like the idea, given that we are a colony, to go further out from the other Dwarven bases, because we've got kind of a couple closely clustered in there. You could play on the Chaos Wastes, I guess. I haven't got a problem with that necessarily. You've got Temperate Forest. We've got Steppes. That'd be kind of fun. Be a lot colder than we're normally used to playing, but that'd be interesting at least. Temperate Forest there too. And now we are playing on Merciless, so I don't actually mind playing on someone that gives us a bit more of an advantage. Steppes, a mountain of steppes. I'm not sure about that one. Okay, we could start there. That would be kind of interesting, I guess. And this puts us very far away from our Dwarven allies. Yeah, I could fuck with that. Why don't we give it a go? Average temperature is 10 degrees C. Yikes, that could be a difficult one. 30 out of 60 days growing time. Sure, The other setting I'm going to do as well is I'm going to set our map size to 600 by 600. Not recommended if you're playing on a lower end PC, simply because the map itself will take a long time to generate. It doesn't actually add any game lag, but the AI starts to get a bit weird. On any, bear in mind your regular Rimworld map is 250 by 250. So we are playing on a map that just on one edge is larger than the whole other map's circumference, or at least a corner of it anyway. So let's go for the steps. Yeah, I like that. Perimeter, not circumference. It's not a circle. That'd be very bizarre if that was a Rimworld circle. Then we'll also go for Dwarf Fortress here. So we've got Olong, Admiral, and Mayo, and of course Shittle now leading them, since poor old Squiffy Gast was lost before he could even really begin. That's everything I did before I start recording, so now I'm actually going to start recording. I'll go over the mod settings as well for you guys. Hello, it's me from the future again. Now I've just recorded the episode. What a roller coaster that was. Let's talk about some of the mod settings then, now that we've gone over the you know, the scenario, the world settings, whatever else that I'm pretty sure we've already done at this point, right? Anyway, so the important ones to note. Let me just go through here. Alpha Animals events. I would certainly recommend turning off Capture Prime Drop Pod, which I forgot about until I just saw it. Simply because that is a drop pod based event. Obviously, it doesn't fit the setting. It's not difficult or anything like that, and actually can be somewhat beneficial. I would personally recommend turning that off. Alpha mechanoids on raids are not necessary if you have disabled mechanoids, like I showed with the faction control mod. So that's fine. That I'm all right with. The other things to note here. Let me take a quick look through. And, of course, faction control is the big one. Now, you can set this all up manually in the mod settings. The faction control that you saw on the world generation screen is just for that particular save. If I've adjusted it in the main menu, which means that all the others will remain the same way as how we set it up there as well. So things like mechanoids are turned off. But if you are only going to do a single playthrough of this, you don't really need to touch any of this. I just did it to, you know, in case I need to restart or there were game-breaking mods or something like that, for example. Save me a few seconds. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for a regular playthrough. So the big one to adjust, actually, now that I've remembered it, I've kept all of this the same. Everything is the same here. 021 Toolbox. I believe you can adjust the races that there are in the game, but again, I don't really think that's necessarily a thing you need to concern yourself with if you're using faction control. The big one is the Empire mod. I can't remember what it's called. It could be in this. Yeah, here we are. Factions to Empires in the bottom section. So this allows you to go through each faction and change it to if they are an empire or not. So what I've done is I've disabled absolutely everything being an empire, with the exception of Kingdom Under the Mountain and Dwarf Hill clans. Now, in ours, we've only got Kingdom Under the Mountain, so this one I could have kept as off, because I think we've got that disabled anyway. Obviously, in base game Rimworld, it will be the Empire. So you can set that up how you want. If you wanted to say, I don't know, the Horrors to be an Empire, probably wouldn't recommend that. That would have probably all sorts of unspeakable bugs associated with it, but that is something to bear in mind. You might want to go through manually with running gun and adjust some of that as well, but I think the big one to really show you in all of this is the map designer options, which is somewhere here. It's kind of alphabetical, kind of not, depending on if they've got their own subsection. So here we are, map designer. So the way I've got it set up is in the mountains tab, I've got the mountain setting to almost solid, size to huge, and then smoothness to roughly about a third of the way through. I found that very smooth made it look very unnatural and artificial, and very rough made it almost too jaggedy, you know, lots of freestanding rocks, that type of thing. So I've got this enabled. The big one for to match the map that I've got, first one you need is Ensure Exit, which creates that kind of snaking pathway out. The second one you need to enable is Natural Lake, and that will cause that spawn in the center. We'll worry about that in a second. We'll go through here. So centralized, you want to tick that to enable it, and then you want to set that right up to edges. Center size is tiny, 30% of the map width. That's personally where I've got it. Any larger than that, it makes it like a super easy to defend base and plenty of room to build in. Obviously, we want the mountain as our playthrough anyway, so if you make that bigger, you get more room, you know, more like tillable land, things like that. Terrain, I believe I didn't touch. No, that's the same as usual. Fertility and water is set to the same amount. I adjusted the amount of ruins and ancient dangers so that there was more interest as we were mining out these big mountain chunks. That's up to you, and more ore as well to make up for the fact that this particular mod pack has like 3 times the regular ore in the base game. Actually, no, way more than that. Set up rivers. For the time being, I haven't touched that because we're not playing on a map with a river. That's down to you. But again, the big one is making sure you enable Natural Lake. That will allow you to get that center spawn quite nicely. So that is 10% of the map. Kept the lake roundness to mostly round. Again, you can go as nuts as you want with that. Beach size, I kept more or less at default. And then lake depth, I kept to default as well. You could change that. I was kind of tempted to go like maybe rich soil, but I thought it might be a little OP. So especially on the size of the map we're playing with. So I've kept that the same. You go saltwater too, which I don't know what it would affect besides, you know, the fishing mod would be affected by that. So that's really the big one if you want to match the map that I've got going on. And then, of course, all of these. I've customized all of these in some particular way, but the settings have carried over from previous mod packs. So generally go through them all yourself and see what you like. As for the mods in this mod pack, the big ones really driving it are the 021 races. You got like Yao's combat, dual wield defense position, simple sidearms for the combat overhaul there. All the vanilla, most of, I should say, the vanilla expanded stuff. I don't know why Blueprint is halfway down that. Don't worry about it too much. Children's School and Learning so that we can quickly replenish our dwarfs. It's supposed to be a high population colony playthrough. One thing Dwarf Fortress has that there aren't really any mods that are released up to date is mythical creatures like griffins and, you know, chimeras, things like that. So I've got megafauna and alpha animals enabled as a kind of as close as I could get style thing. Similarly, you have like demons in Dwarf Fortress if you dig too deep, and that's what the chaos are supposed to represent, and the horrors too. That's why we've also got that mod in here. Of course, lots of medieval mods here. Medieval times, medieval madness. We've got more furniture because we don't really have that much furniture in the first place, because those mods take away... Medieval times removes all of the technology stuff anyway, but then playing on Maynard Medieval also takes that away as well. Prevents you from building it in the first place. Lord of the Rings Dwarfs, this not only adds the race, I mean the races are unnecessary with 021, but it adds a bunch of other shit too, like a bunch of armor, weapons, doors, walls, furniture, and toys. So that's worth going for. Gems and statues. I've got a lot of ore mods actually. So you've got gems that you saw. We've got fantasy metals reforged as well, which adds a lot of different fictional metals. I believe like vibranium is in there from, of course, the Marvel Universe. Adamantine, mithril from Lord of the Rings. There's many, many different things to see. And again, I thought for a dwarf playthrough, gems and ores are very much on brand, aren't they? Everything else is kind of stuff that I would normally throw in: bulk smelting, stackable chunks, damage indicators, etc. A lot of it is if you've watched any of my stuff before, you're going to recognize pretty much all of it, I think. Oh, one exception there, the thick roof miner. This is quite cool. So it doesn't just allow you to remove thick roofs. You can remove it if you allow it to cave in, which I thought is quite a nice way of balancing that, because it's going to be very high risk, very high reward if you are mining out a mountain's thick roofs. Because, you know, it's thick roofs after all. You're probably just going to get crushed 99% of the time, but everything else is pretty much what you've seen before. So again, balance it how you want. See what you like about that. I'd recommend maybe picking and choosing some mods. You know, if you're not going to play with the race mods, you might want to dump that. If you're not going to play with anything but human, I'd recommend not messing around with the Empire mod at all, because there are bugs that will be introduced with that. For example, you know, we could do the bestowing ceremony, but we can't get Psylink. So that's something to bear in mind. Anyway, full mod guide, mod list, installation instructions, etc. are available on the Steam Workshop page with some more discussion and kind of settings that you might want to mess around with too. So go and take a look over there. I'm not going to do an install guide for every series. I've obviously got it all written up, but I think it's a little easier for people to follow. I've got screenshots for an image gallery there as well if you need a little bit more assistance with that. You can always go over to Discord too and go into the Rimworld modding section if you do need any additional help with any of the mods, any bugs you find or anything like that, anything I should be aware of. There may be some bugs here. Again, I have to throw these mod packs together super quickly. This episode was supposed to come out yesterday, I believe. No, it was it due out today? Yeah, it was due out today, but I'm recording it basically a day late. I normally record this time yesterday, just to stay a day ahead because of YouTube uploading and, you know, render errors and whatever else. So if you find any bugs, please let me know. I've had all of about 12 hours to throw the mod pack together and do the intro and everything else. So see you guys all tomorrow.